So this video is going to be about the synth part on the Korg EMX1. There are 5 synth parts, but they're all monophonic, which means they can only play one note at a time. So you always have to deal with that kind of limitation with this, but it's still a great groove box. You can come up with really great sounds, in my opinion, with what it has built in. So I'm actually not going to go through all the oscillator options and everything. I'm just going to keep it on a saw wave. And the first thing I'm going to do is, here's the volume. So I'm going to turn it down so it's not too loud. And here are the, this is the filter options. So I'm just going to change the cutoff, the resonance. Just so it's like a little muted sounding. And this right here affects an envelope. See, if I turn up the resonance, you can hear it. So there's also different modes for the filter. Low pass, high pass, band pass, and then band pass plus. They all sound different, so it's high pass, band pass plus. And I always usually stay in low pass. There's also modulation. You can change the pitch. You can change the oscillator settings. You can change like the cutoff on the filter. This is the rate, and you can change the shape that it's modulating with. So that's pretty useful. You can do a lot of different really crazy sounds. And this changes the oscillator to pitch. So if you do it subtly, it makes really wide kind of synth. You can go an octave up, an octave below. So it's really not bad. I mean, you have a lot of different options. So moving on here, let's just go straight to programming this into here step by step. Now I press step edit here, and you can't see the screen, but I'll just read off what you need to know. So I'm going to press arrow down until I see step rec, okay? And that's step record. Right now it says 1.06. If I turn off the keyboard here, you'll see it's on 6, so that's what it means. Bar 1 and 6. So I can either move the knob, and then you see when I move the knob, it moves to the different numbers, or I just press the number, or the step that I want to edit. So there we are. And what I'm going to do from here is press keyboard and figure out what note I want to play first. So let's start with this note, which is C. This is the this is set up like a keyboard. So this is like C, D, E, and the black keys. And here's the octave. So low C, high C. I can move the keyboard octave by pressing these arrow keys. So, okay, now that we have that set up, I'm just going to press record, and we're in step 1, and if I press, say, this note, now it'll say step 2. So let's press it again, so we want it to play it twice. Let's put a rest in there, and that says rest right here, so I'm going to put in a rest. Now we're on step 4, I'm going to press that. There's also rest, and it's also a tie. So if I hold that down and press that, I think that should make it hold the note. We'll find out if it does or doesn't. If we want to look at what we have so far, press keyboard. Oh, actually you have to turn off record. Now press keyboard. And then you can see what we've already made these. If we just want to listen to it, we just press it. I can press play. So yeah. If we want to overwrite something, you just press the step, for example, press keyboard, press record, and put in a different note. So it's at 106 now, or you just turn off record and check that way, either way. Okay, so I went to 1.16, so now we have a full, you know, we can play and listen to it this way. Listen to it this way. Now let's show you a different mode here. What I'm going to do is press Synth 2. Let's listen to see how that sounds. We'll make it maybe a higher pitch. So a cool thing you can do, it doesn't have ADSR. So you can play it this way, or if you press this, amp EG, you can make it into a tail. So it plays like a piano almost. You can change the length of the tail by turning this. So what I want to do too, let's send this through effects. I'm going to press effects send. It's going to send that to this effects section. It's set to effects 1, so let's change effects 1. Let's make that into a delay. Just some crazy effect we're just putting on here. And maybe I'm going to do a little pitch modulation. So something like that. I'm going to press play. I want to press record, but if I do that, I'm still in step mode. So before we do that, let's just switch out. You can press any button. I'll just press part edit here. And let's just press record. So let's say we want to erase part of that. Well, actually, let's just solo this for now because I don't like that synth. So I'm gonna press play. Now, if we want to turn this off, or it's almost like pressing an erase on a tape. So you just press Shift and back here. It says erase right over the button right here, and you press it. And wherever you press it, it turns off. It erases all the notes. So I can just hold that down. Now it's completely empty. So I can just press record. I can see what's going on if I press this. I can enable or disable steps. Let's say we like some of these notes. Let's go back into step edit mode. What I'm going to do is press up once. It's going to say note no C4. That's C and then the octave. When I press that, it says D sharp 3, G3, G3. So what I can do is if I turn the knob here, I can actually change the note. If I mistakenly press the wrong note, you know. You can also change the octave if you hold down Shift and then turn the knob. So right now it says A3, you shift and knob, it says A4. Shift knob down. So there you go. So now you can actually like go through this and like you can kind of figure out what notes you really want to put in here, kind of orchestrate it. It's kind of a different way to enter notes in, and I think it's really intuitive. once you get into it. So once you have all this all set, like actually I want to erase all of this from this synth. So I make sure keyboard mode's off, press out of step edit mode, and I'm just going to press all these. All this is doing is erasing it. You can also use a different, if you press shift, you can clear the part. So you could press shift 7 and then clear part, synth 1 and synth 2. Let's just erase everything. Press this and then it's completely erased, but it still preserves the sounds. So there's a lot of different ways you can create notes in here. So maybe I'm gonna just put in some hi-hats here to keep a beat, and then I'm just gonna press record and just gonna play around with the synth so you can kind of hear just a little demo of what you can do with this. Turn that hi-hat down. And then what you can also do is transpose. So if you hold down the solo button, you will see that 4 is illuminated. That means it's C. So I can transpose all of these synths by pressing different keys here.